Good morning. Today we will discuss regarding lathe machines and its operations. So first we will see the function of lathe. The main function of lathe is to remove excess material from a workpiece in the form of chips to give it the required shape and size. So excess material from the workpiece that can be removed by the lathe machine. So this is done by holding the workpiece securely and rigidly on the machine and then turning it against cutting tool which will remove the metal from the work in the form of chips. To cut the material properly, the tool should harder than the material of the workpiece. It should rigidly held on the machine and it should fade or progress in a definite way relative to the work. So this is a lathe machine. The construction of a lathe. You can see the main parts of the lathe. The another diagram which will indicate the main parts of the lathe. So this is a block diagram of the lathe. You can see at the left hand side there is a headstock. At the top you can see. Then at the right hand side at the top you can see the tailstock. The middle part or middle upper part, it is called the carriage, and then there is a bed. So these are the main parts of the lathe machine. So the principal parts of lathe, the first is bed, second headstock, third is tailstock, fourth is carriage, and fifth is feed mechanism. So the first part, that is lathe bed. All the parts of the lathe such as headstock, tailstock, carriage, etc. are mounted on the bed. The bed should have sufficient weight and be of proper material so that the vibrations generated during operations are damp out. So you can see in a diagram there is a bed, and on the bed the different parts like headstock, tailstock and carriage, it is mounted. So bed is the base of the lathe. The headstock and tailstock are located at either end of the bed. You can see in a diagram. So at the left hand side there is a headstock, at the right hand side there is a tailstock that is mounted on a bed. The carriage rests over the lathe bed and slides on it. The middle part, that is called a carriage. So carriage, it is a assembly of several parts. So that carriage rests over the lathe bed. The bed is the main guiding member of the tool for accurate machining work. And the second part, that is headstock. It is located at the left hand side of the bed. So the diagram indicates the headstock. It supports the spindle and contains a gearbox by which the spindle and hence the workpiece may be rotated at various speeds. So in a headstock there is a chuck mounted on a spindle, and in the chuck you can hold the workpiece, and that workpiece that can be rotated at different speeds. So the speed arrangement, that is inside the headstock. The headstock is secured permanently at the left hand end of a lathe bed. It provides mechanical means of rotating the work at multiple speeds. It comprises a hollow spindle and mechanism for driving and altering spindle speed. All the parts are housed within the headstock casting. The spindle has a taper at the front end to hold the centers and other tools having tapered shank. The spindle has a threaded nose to hold the faceplate or various types of chucks. So this is regarding the headstock. Then tailstock. So you can see in a main block diagram, at the right hand side, you can see the tailstock. So it is situated at the right hand end of the bed. It can be moved towards or away from the operator. Tailstock can be locked in any position along the bed of the lathe by tightening the clamp lever or nut. So the tailstock, it is located on the inner wedge at the right hand end of the bed. It has two main functions. It supports the other end of the work when it is being machined between centers. So you can see in a diagram. So this the work, it is held in between centers, and the tailstock that is used to support the other end of the work when it is machined between centers, and it holds the tools for performing operations such as drilling, reaming and tapping. So you can hold in the spindle of the tailstock the different tools like drill, reamer and tap. To accommodate different lengths of work, the body of the tailstock can be adjusted along the wedge by sliding it to the desired position. The body is bored which carries the spindle that moves in or out by rotating tailstock handwheel. So you can see in this diagram there is a tailstock handwheel, the name it is given, and by rotating the handwheel you can move the spindle in or out of the tailstock body. The front of the spindle has a tapered hole into which the dead center or other tools fit. Then the carriage. The carriage controls and supports the cutting tool. By the help of this, cutting tool moves away or towards the headstock. The carriage serves to support, move and control the cutting tool. It has 5 major parts. First is saddle, second cross slide, then compound slide, tool post and apron. So you can see in a diagram the middle part of the lathe machine. So it is an assembly of several parts. So it consists of saddle, cross slide, compound slide, then the tool post, apron. So the carriage, it is a assembly of several parts. So this assembly, it is called the carriage, and it is mounted at the middle part of the lathe. Now we will see the function of the parts of the carriage. So parts of the carriage, first is saddle. So saddle is a H-shaped casting that fits over the bed and slides along the wedge. So you can see it is a H-shaped casting that is called a saddle. It carries cross slide, compound slide and tool post. So over the saddle, the cross slide is mounted. Over the cross slide, there is a compound slide, and over the compound slide, there is a tool post. So different movements of the tool that can be obtained. Then cross slide. So transverse or cross movement is obtained. Cross movement of the tool is obtained with the help of cross slide. It is mounted on a saddle. It provides cutting tool motion perpendicular to lathe axis. The cross feed movement may be controlled by manual with the help of cross slide handle or by power feed. Then third part, that is a compound slide. So you can see in the diagram there is a compound slide which is mounted on a cross slide, and that compound slide, it has a wheel for movement of the compound slide. So it is mounted on a top of cross slide. It has a circular base graduated in degrees. It is used for obtaining angular cuts and short tapers, as well as convenient positioning of the tool to the work. There is no power feed to the compound rest, and it is hand operated. So by rotating the lever, you can move the tool at an angle to the lathe axis. That is a function of compound slide. Then next part, that is a tool post. The tool post mounted on a compound rest or compound slide and slides in a T-slots. Cutting tool or cutting holder is firmly held in it. The tool can be swiveled as well as tilted by means of a rocker and a concave ring collar. So this is a mechanism that is used for swiveling the tool. So the tool post that is used to hold the cutting tool. You can see in a diagram the cutting tool that is fixed inside the tool post. So there are number of bolts that are used to tight the cutting tool. Then apron. So it is fastened to the saddle and contains the feeding mechanism. So different feeding mechanism for the carriage, it is inside the apron. The apron, it contains gears, clutches and levers for operating the carriage by hand or power feed. So it also contains friction clutches for automatic feed. The apron handwheel can be turned by hand to move the carriage along the bed of the lathe. Then feed mechanism. The tool movement relative to the work is known as feed. There are three types of feed. Longitudinal feed. When the tool moves away or towards the headstock parallel to the axis of the work, that is called the longitudinal feed, that is parallel to the lathe axis. When the tool it is moved parallel to the lathe axis, it is called the longitudinal feed. Cross feed. When the tool moves away from the or towards from the operator perpendicular to the work, means when the tool moves perpendicular to the axis of perpendicular to the lathe axis, that is then it is called a cross feed. And angular feed, by swiveling the compound rest or compound slide, the tool is made to move at an angle to the work. So when the tool moves at an angle to the lathe axis, it is called a angular feed. So these are the three different feeds that you can obtain. Then next part, that is a lathe operations. So various operations that can be performed on a lathe machine. So some of the operations are turning, facing, boring, drilling, reaming, threading and knurling. So we will see one by one. So these are the different lathe operations that are carried out on a lathe machine. You can see there is a turning operation. Second, that is a taper turning. Then the profiling operation. Then the step turning, facing operation, straight turning, threading operation, boring operation, drilling, parting operation. So different operations that you can perform on a lathe machine. So the first operation, that is a turning operation. So it is a straight turning operation. So it is a process of reducing the diameter of a part to a desired dimension. So you can see this is a work that is held in a chuck and it is rotated. At the bottom there is a tool, and tool it is fed in a longitudinal direction, that is parallel to the lathe axis from right to the left along the headstock. So it is a process of reducing the diameter of the part to a desired dimension. The work is made to rotate about lathe axis and tool is fed parallel to the lathe axis. So it is a straight turning operation. Then next is shoulder turning. So for shoulder turning, when different diameters are to be turned on a workpiece, then a step is formed from one diameter to the other. It's called the shoulder. And the machining process is called shoulder turning. The work is made to rotate about lathe axis and tool is fed parallel to the lathe axis to form the shoulder. Next is taper turning. So it is the operation of producing a conical surface by gradual reduction in diameter from a cylindrical surface. So you can see there is a taper formation on the lathe machine. A taper may be turned by feeding the tool at an angle to the lathe axis. The angle formed by a path of the tool with the lathe axis is called half taper angle and is given by tan alpha equal to capital D minus small d that is major diameter minus minor diameter upon twice L, where L is the length of the taper. Then the facing operation, it is the operation of machining the ends of a workpiece to produce flat surface. So flat end that can be produced with the help of facing operation. So it is also used to cut the work to the required length. So you can make the required length of workpiece by facing operation. The work is made to rotate about lathe axis and tool is fed perpendicular to the lathe axis to get the facing operation. Then chamfering operation. So it is the operation of beveling the extreme end of the workpiece. You can see in a diagram there is a beveling of the extreme end of the workpiece. So this is done to remove the burrs, to protect the end of workpiece from being damaged and to have a better look. So this is a chamfering operation, getting beveled surface at the edge of a cylindrical surface. Then knurling operation, it is the operation of embossing a diamond shaped pattern on a surface of the workpiece. The purpose of knurling is to provide an effective gripping surface on the work. You can see in a diagram the last end. It is the knurling operation. It is done on a last end of the workpiece. So you can see the diamond shaped pattern that is produced on a workpiece, and at the bottom you can see the knurling tool. The tool that is used is called a knurling tool. The work is made to rotate about lathe axis and knurling tool is fed parallel to the lathe axis by giving the depth of cut. The tool consists of a set of hardened steel rollers and it is held rigidly on a tool post. Then thread cutting operation. So it is the operation of producing a helical groove on a cylindrical surface. So you can see the helical groove that is formed on a workpiece. The work is made to rotate about lathe axis and the tool fed parallel to the lathe axis. A definite ratio between the longitudinal feed and the rotation of the headstock spindle is obtained by arranging the change gears. You can see at the left hand side there is a gear train that is arranged for the thread cutting operation. So the work or the chuck that will be rotate at one speed and the carriage that will be rotated at another speed. So there is a definite ratio between the longitudinal feed and the rotation of the headstock is obtained with the help of change gears. Then grooving operation. So it is the operation of reducing the diameter of a workpiece over a very narrow surface. So you can see the grooving operation. The work is revolved at half the speed of turning. The work is made to rotate about lathe axis and tool is fed perpendicular to the lathe axis to get the desired groove. Then forming operation. So you can see the forming operation in a diagram. So forming tool are not supposed to remove much of the material and is used mainly for finishing form surfaces. Generally, two types of forming tools are used, straight and circular. So straight type tools that is used for the wider surface and circular type tools that is used for narrow surface. Then drilling operation. Drilling is the operation of producing a cylindrical hole in a workpiece. So you can see at the right hand side there is a drill which is held in a tailstock, spindle of the tailstock, and that drill it is moved in a longitudinal direction, producing the hole in a work by rotating the tailstock wheel. The workpiece is revolved in a chuck and the drill is held in a tailstock drill holder and is fed parallel to the lathe axis. producing the hole. Then reaming operation, it is the operation of finishing and sizing a hole which has been previously drilled. So by reamer you cannot generate a hole by using reamer, but only that hole that you can finish with the help of reaming operation or with the help of reamer. The tool used for this is called a reamer. The workpiece is revolved in a chuck and the reamer held in a tailstock is fed parallel to the lathe axis. Then boring operation, it is the operation of enlarging and proving a hole produced by drilling, casting or forging. So boring cannot originate a hole. The tool used for this purpose, it is called a boring tool. The work is made to rotate about lathe axis and tool is fed parallel to the lathe axis. So you can see there is a boring tool which can be moved parallel to the lathe axis. So you can see there is an enlargement of the diameter, inside diameter, that is called a boring operation. Then tapping operation, it is the operation, you can see there is a tap that is held in a spindle of the tailstock and it is moved in a longitudinal direction in a previously drilled hole of specific diameter required for the tapping operation. So it is the operation of cutting internal threads of small diameter using multi-point cutting tool that is called a tap. So this is regarding the lathe machine and its operation. Thank you.